Hey, what's poppin', guys? Sizzle here, and in this video, I'm going to be setting up my VTuber model from scratch on Windows using completely free software and webcam tracking to do hand tracking and model tracking. Webcam I'm using is a $20 webcam. It's like LD01 or something like that. I'll have a link in the description. I bought it off Amazon in the US. Not sure if you can buy it outside the US. If you can't, I'm sorry, but there should be other stuff like it. I just don't feel comfortable recommending it if I haven't used it and can vouch for its quality. So I can't really recommend anything other than that. With that out of the way, let's go boot up Warudo, get things started. For those who don't have it installed or whatever, you get it on Steam for free. Just like anything else on Steam, you just search it up, hit the install button, and then you'll have it installed. Then you can hit the launch button. When you launch, you get something like this happening. You get the little Warudo editor thing popping up in light mode, and then you get the skybox. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go swap with the dark mode, because I like having eyesight. It's pretty cool when you can see things. Anyway, from here, we're going to open the character folder. If you don't have a character, just use the one they provide for you. This thing right here is provided for you by default. I actually got like a little custom guy made a while back using my YouTube money, which is like $300. Not too shabby for the low quality stuff I've been pumping out. And I used it all to get this VTuber model here made by Chris Quay. And you'll see now it shows up there as soon as you paste it in. I'll have Chris Quay also linked in the description. He's a real one. It was really easy working with him. This model, in my opinion, really great. Especially great because I came to him with basically nothing. I basically sent him a profile picture of my YouTube channel. It's like, all right, make this a character. And he spent like a month like making this a character and making it look good and work and all that, and it did the exact style that I wanted, which is like PS1 polygon type graphics in a way, but with like cell shading and all that. Either way, it looks great. Good stuff by Chris Quay. If you have like VTuber stuff and you wanted to look kind of like my model or anything just really good, go hit him up. I'll have a link in the description. He's really great to work with. Anyway, configure motion capture. Yes, recommend for me. I don't need full body tracking. I do want upper body tracking. I don't have Leap Motion. I don't have an iPhone or iPad. I just have a working webcam. It's the L01 HD webcam. Perfect. It found that all out on its own. From here, media pipe for both of them is fine. We're going to hit customize face tracking to enable the lip sync feature. For some reason, this is not enabled by default, which I find really weird. And yeah, this way it'll speak when I speak, which is a good thing. That's great. You can also turn on hybrid mode, where it uses both the audio and your mouth moving to track for mouth movement. I'm gonna actually have that off because I feel like audio is what I want it to track. Like if I'm breathing, I don't want my mouth to open on my model. That would be kind of weird. So yeah, we're just gonna set everything up like that when it comes to face tracking. When it comes to pose tracking, this all looks fine. Yeah. Then we hit OK, and it starts setting stuff up for us. And just by default, our model, I don't have any expressions items, so I'm not using those. And I don't care to have an environment. If you have an environment, you could have like a little, they got a bunch of options. They had the like skybox option before. You can do a classroom. You can do whatever. I don't want that in the final product. I didn't realize this would take so long when you clicked it. But yeah, like you can do stuff like this if you want, I guess, but I just don't want that. I was just showing off that you could do backgrounds if you want to go do that stuff. But yeah, I just want to have like a little TNG of my guy up on screen, basically, except it's a 3D model. But yeah, from there, the basic setup is done, and the first thing I want to do is stop my model from doing whatever this is. This is like the weirdest thing. And it's weird to me that it's enabled by default, but I guess they want it to be exaggerated just to show you that it is tracking. So what I'm going to do before I get into that, though, is disable things that I don't use. So I don't have an environment. We're disabling the environment. I don't have real-time lights. I don't want that. This stuff seems fine, I think. And the rest of this seems fine. Directional lights. Yeah, I need directional light. This looks weird. If my model looked like this, I wouldn't really like it so much. We're turning that on, but I don't use props. I feel like that stuff's, I don't know, it's good for streamers, I guess, but I'm not a streamer. Even if I was a streamer, I wouldn't want all that bullshit going on. I just want this thing on my screen basically to do like hand tracking and move when I speak. I feel like it's just like a little bit neat to have in the corner. And then shadows don't fuck up my model, so I'm not doing shadows either. just saves more and more processing power with everything I disable. Next up, scale. You gotta disable this, not disable, you gotta lower the scale of my model so I can actually see it. There we go. You can see my little character model thing here. That's always great. Position rotation seems fine. Motion capture, we want motion capture. And already getting started, we can calibrate media pipe. So I'm going to look straight at my monitor, like dead center of it, and hit calibrate. And there we go. Now when I look straight at my monitor, it looks like that. When I look left, it looks like that. When I look right, it looks like that. All right, beautiful. Next up, we got to do lip sync settings. Actually set that up. This one, I'm going to full screen for us so you can see it a little bit better. Because there's a lot going on here. So left click to drag around on here. There's still going to be a lot on your screen. You could ignore most of it. All of this stuff generally solid default. Make sure it has the right microphone picked. It actually didn't for me, so I'm going to set that to the right microphone. And then we're going to hit calibrate. Just before I do that, let's see how well... This is like me speaking. Like you see how little it's picking up my mouth. Speaking of defaults, this is the hand tracking. You can see my hands on the screen. I don't know why it's so laggy. It's normally not so laggy like it is right now. I guess it's because I'm on this tab or whatever. I can show that off better later. But we're gonna hit calibrate. We're gonna choose the default one. Hit OK, and then we're gonna make the noises it wants us to make. So we hit start calibration. Hold the thing for 1 second, no more, no less, and hit stop calibration before you stop speaking. So yeah. Ooh. Oh. There we go. We're all calibrated. We're all set up. You can name that whatever you want. Profile 1. Perfect. Alright. So that's all set up. That's all nice. Let's see what it looks like. Yeah. So now when I'm speaking quietly, when I'm speaking louder, it's picking it up and it's doing it pretty solid. Debatably almost too responsive. I can increase the smooth time to help fix that. Now that we've got it mostly set up, I can actually keep this visible. Smooth time increase. I think that's a little bit nicer. I think that is. I think that's a tiny bit nicer. Maybe a little too smooth for my liking. Let's turn that down. I mean, the default was pretty fun. There's a reason they have defaults. You know, most of the defaults are pretty solid for most people. But I think I want a little bit more. Let's try it. 0.12. That's like basically going from not moving, like having that straight line, to having the thing speaking is what the smooth time is. Volume threshold is how quiet you can speak before it picks you up. And then you can see what it's doing down here, how it's tracking things. But that all seems fine. So we're going to go back to the assets page and go configure everything else. And now that we're off of that page, let me show you the actual, like, this is what the hand tracking normally looks like. We can see in the top right, really fucking smooth, really clean. Like, just the defaults are amazing. Like, this is me with the character model in the bottom right there. If I point, if I do, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fingers, it picks them all up. It looks great. You can move them like that, point at things. It's great. That's all I want from hand tracking. And now we have the mouth tracking working. The body tracking seems pretty fine. It's very overexpressive, and we're going to fix that in a second. But yeah, I don't have expressions. I don't have animations. I don't have look at IK, body IK. There's something like eyebrow movement. You can see my eyebrows going up and down. I never really configured that, and I kind of didn't even realize that Chris even added it in. It's a cool feature to have. Just like a neat little thing. But yeah, now we're in the main media pipe tracker. First thing I want to do, disable pendulum physics. I don't really know exactly what it does. I just remember I talked to someone about it that's like in the Warudo Discord or whatever, and they basically said it helps make stuff really expressive and like overly expressive. And I just don't want that. I don't want overly expressive shit. I want my guy in the corner. I want to be able to point at shit like that. I want to be able to go like, oh, and that's like the whole point of this model. Yeah. So from here, let's go from the top down after that. Character's fine. Webcam is fine. I don't want to show my camera. That's kind of the whole point of this thing. Process priority is fine. GPU acceleration is fine. Face tracking is good. Eye movement seems fine. Like the face tracking, everything seems fine. It's just overly expressive. Head movement intensity. Is my head moving too much? I feel like the head movement's actually pretty fine, so I'm not gonna mess with that. Maximum head translation. I don't even know what that. Okay, yeah, this is the stuff I like to change. Body movement intensity. Let's turn that way down. Let's do 0.2. Now you can see my body's not floating around the screen, but I'm still doing this weird twirling shit whenever I turn left and right. Like in real life, I'm barely moving, but my model's doing like 8 times the movement. We're going to turn down the body rotation as well. That's still too much in my opinion. 0.1. I basically want the model looking forward. Let's just do 0.1 on both. Like, some movement is nice. It's nice when there's like a little bit of like, oh, this guy's moving around this chair, moving around the room, like kind of moving as he talks. That's normal. You can see what my hands are doing. That's like normal shit when people are talking, doing shit, hands doing shit. That's average stuff. And yeah, that now we're looking good. Now the model's not like overly insane. When I look forward, I look forward. When I look at my left monitor, it's like I'm still looking to the left, but my face is still facing forward. This is exactly what I wanted. Yeah, here it is, yeah. Eye blinking, eye squint. I don't even know, like, I don't have any of that shit set up. That's probably fine. Eye blink sensitivity. I mean, I have to, like, really raise my eyebrows for them to actually move. Like, if I don't move my eyebrows, they stay in place, it looks like. Might be worth turning that down a little bit. Well, that's eye blink. I have it set so my eyes don't blink with my vital, so I don't have to configure that. Hand tracking genuinely? Is it good how it is? This is like on my chest. This is where it gets freaky. I never am gonna hold my hands like this though, so that's like fair enough. Yeah. They get weird when you're really close to your chest, but as long as you have your hands like doing shit, moving normally, they seem fine. You know, I push them forward, they go forward. I push them out, they go out. My arms aren't doing anything super weird. They seem pretty fine. That all seems completely fine. And yeah, I think that's genuinely all we have to do. This is pretty much as configured as it gets in terms of the actual app itself. And next up, we're going to go connect this all to OBS. So I'm going to go open up Edge, and we'll get started with that. Okay, so now in Edge here, we have OBS Spout 2 plugin. I'll have this linked in the description or whatever. And let's go to the installation, go to the releases page, boom. OBS Spout 2 plugin install exe, boom. Click that. Hit yes if it asks you, like, do you want admin perms from this? Hit install, hit finish. And then when you reboot OBS, it'll just be available, and I'll show that in a second. So now you can see this is my current OBS setup. It's going to get a little bit trippy probably if you look at this window. But we're going to go set up the little connector thing. You just have to hit plus on sources. You should now have Spout 2 capture. Right? Reminder, you have to reboot OBS for that to take effect after you install it. You can call it whatever you want. I'm just going to call mine like VTuber thing, or just VTuber. And then you could use first visible sender. I'm going to change that to Warudo, so it's just always Warudo. Opaque, I think, is what we want. Or is it alpha? Just default, I guess. I'd say the alpha one, because that has no background. Opaque was making it black, which I don't think... Yeah, you can see it's black on the screen there. I guess you couldn't even see me doing that. The window looks like this. It's default to opaque, which makes it black. Default makes it invisible. The ledger seating makes it invisible. This one also makes it invisible. So I'm going to do this one, the bottom one, the pre-multiplied alpha. And spout sensors from first available to Warudo. Hit OK. Let me unlock my preview. And now I can move this down in the corner however I want to move it. I can also crop it, because like I said, I don't really like having the bottom of that stuff visible. So we're going to go bottom, I don't know, 80, that's still not enough, 100, 130, 50, 160. Alright, there we, is that too much? I don't know if that's too much. Maybe I should a little bit more. 150. Yeah, that seems reasonable. This is like moving, talking, doing shit, pointing somewhere. That looks good. That looks solid. That's enough cropping for that. And move it down in like the corner or whatever. And we're a bit golden there. I'm gonna drag it also under the little orange border I set up. There you go. Now I'm like pointing at stuff. You could see also the thing on the side there, but you know, that's all good on that front. Next up, we're gonna do some final configurations just to kind of optimize stuff a little bit further. Launch editor on start. When I hit no, that's this tab right here. So once you have the set to no, it'll pop up only with this and this. And if you ever want to come back to here, let's say I hit no here and I close this out. Notice how it doesn't close. It's just press escape to launch the editor. I just press escape and it launches the editor, just like that. And then next up, we just want to go to menu, settings, change this final set of settings. Spout output I want. I don't want any other output because Spout is working fine for me. If you want to do a virtual camera instead, you can do that if you want. Window width and height, I want to set fixed. I don't want to be able to accidentally stretch it, but I actually want to change that from 720p to 480p because honestly, for how small my model is going to be, I don't need all that quality. It means I do have to actually reconfigure it on OBS, but that's pretty straightforward, I think. Yeah, there we go. You see, it's lower res, but it looks fine. Looks great. If we look back at the Warudo stuff real quick, you can see this is what it looks like now. It's a little bit of a smaller window, except I think I did it inverted. I think I did the height instead of the width. Let me change that real quick. No, 960 by 480 should be the right dimensions. I don't know why that looks so weird. Maybe 960 is too high. Let me just look it up real quick. 480p video dimensions. It's the fun of doing it live. I have to actually check in on stuff. Oh, it's 640. Wow, I gave it way too much. That's why it looked really long vertically. There we go, 640 by 480. Now, this is how the window looks like. It's way smaller, but in all honesty, this is more than good enough as far as it comes to looking at it on OBS or whatever. Yeah, you can see like that's great. It uses less processing power. It still looks amazing. It's just a beautiful little thing. I might like push my model up a little bit more or something so I can see more of it, but looks good. VSync, I don't care about. Shadow resolution, I don't even have shadows, so low is fine. Shadow projection, stable fit instead of close fit. Close fit is better for quality, but I just don't have shadows, so whatever does the least possible. Anti-aliasing, let's see what that looks like. I mean, with it off, it's like, that looks fine, that looks good, that looks great, so I'll keep that off. And then process priority and increase CPU priority both seem fine as is. And there you have it. That was setting up a VTuber model from scratch. It really didn't take that long. Looks really good in my opinion. Looks really solid. I like how it looks. The thumbs ups are kind of weird, kind of weird to do. The hand tracking isn't perfect, but for $20 worth of tracking and free tracking software, this is amazing, and this is more than good enough to do videos with. Like, this is super expressive and all that. But yeah, any questions you guys have about stuff, you can try to comment below. Maybe someone else watching this can answer them for you. But in all honesty, I can't answer most of the questions. Everything I knew, I basically just put on display. Everything else, join the Warudo Discord. They got an official Discord server for this software, and the people in there are like beyond helpful. I was able to learn this stuff in like 20 minutes just by hopping on call with someone, just asking if I would hop on call with them. And it was really easy to do. And yeah, with that being said, hope you all enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.